I would say we do have one dilapidated pole humper that's coming after me, and I don't know why, but I will handle that too.
LaDame was famously said, the girls are always coming for her, but they can never find her. Clock it. And it's all eyes on her as the girls start out by addressing Karen's infamous drunk driving incident in which she drove a 2018 Maserati into a pole after having one too many earlier this year. And you know what? First of all, I really expected Giselle to ride on this opportunity to read LaDame for filth. But in their first ever brunch not long after the incident, I saw a lot of empathy coming between the frenemies. Obviously, Giselle is getting the tea. The producers want it, but the energy of the whole conversation was rather compassionate and empathetic, something I have found refreshing in this preview. Now, it's all hands on deck to avoid another slump in ratings, and the ladies are punting the season currently. In a recent interview with Extra, Karen talked about missing both Candiace and Robyn, but also shared that the energy is lighter this season. She thinks the new girls are, well, special.
I do miss Candiace and Robyn. Those are my girls. Candiace, motherhood looks great on her. I can't wait for the baby, but yeah, we're just evolving, and the new girls, they're special.
It's clear that she, along with Mia, will be the central figures in season 9, in addition to them taking the prominent center positions in the official spring-themed group photos, and that should 8, by the way. Their storylines also dominated in the promo for the season, and now that we have damn near 10 minutes of the whole thing, it's pretty clear that she's taking it. Except this time, the Grand Dame will be taking viewers along a dark time in her life, because her tea is splashed all over the internet as she navigates a strange time in her life attending court for the DUI. And we know this is the furthest thing from Karen's brand, because she typically embodies the epitome of class, sophistication, and elegance. But the people need answers because, as Mia adds in the first look into one of her confessionals this season, Karen unfortunately endangered the lives of other people by being irresponsible in that particular moment. Karen is not pleased with Mia's mouth, and is in their relationship is suffering further because of it.
No, and you are not. Shut up. No.
And maybe that's why she calls her a dilapidated pole humper in that interview. Not one to duck accountability or stir up random drama to get the heat off herself, Karen seems to be ready to open up and be vulnerable this season. Having lost her mom and dad barely 7 months apart, she reflects on how grief has impacted her in ways that have been totally destabilizing in her life. Her heart is broken, and it doesn't help that the one person she's always leaned on during storms in her life is also a little emotionally unavailable at this moment. Karen reveals how troubles in her marriage with Ray have persisted as a couple goes through one of those steps I've heard can affect any marriage at some point. However, this time, everything seems to have piled up, overwhelming Karen and culminating into that car crash. Now, in case you forgot, Ms. Huger was reportedly arrested earlier this year for crashing a car while driving under the influence. According to an online court record seen by TMZ in March, right before filming started, Karen was slapped with 1 count of DUI over the wreck of a 2018 Maserati. She had to make a mandatory court appearance to answer for it. LaDame also got in trouble for negligent and reckless driving for driving way over the speed limit and driving with a suspended registration. And that's a total of 6 traffic violations for LaDame. Now, I'm not defending Karen just because I adore her, which I do, but hear me out. I do think driving under the influence is absolutely unacceptable, and we know it, and she knows it too.
We all know that.
No, we don't know that.
Yes.
We don't know that.
And she's in the courts dealing with it right now. However, I do hear how devastating loss and the grief that has come with that has really affected her emotionally. Now, there are those in this group of TV friends who aren't extending that same grace, and Mia and Jacqueline are on that list. We already know now about the upcoming fallout with Wendy, who is now sucking up to Giselle. For some reason, I was taken aback when Jacqueline started going on about how Karen sounded tipsy during a recent phone call they'd had. The conversation is taking place at an intimate get-together with all the girls, and after Jessie does a proper introduction for the benefit of the viewer, revealing how she and her man, an NFL player, have recently found a house in the area, Jacqueline instead recalls how she could tell over the phone that Karen had been drinking that day. Now, it won't take a genius to figure out that Karen potentially having a drinking problem will be amplified as a big storyline this season, and that some of the girls are going to come for her for that. And it's not even the most original method, because in previous seasons, Ashley has had to answer for how much she drinks too. Katie at some point, and I think a couple of others, they do this all the time. But maybe this is a little more different because of the car crash. The preview cuts where Karen arrives at the event, leaving us with a cliffhanger on what will happen next. Now that her name has been the topic of conversation on the table, I'm guessing that she will find out about Jacqueline's claims and then read her under the table, because, let's be classy, I do love Jacqueline, but she does get messy too quickly sometimes. You can see her thinking, the camera is on, relax, let this play out more naturally.
Messy.
That's messy?
Yes!
Outside of Karen, Mia is another one who will be carrying airing and totally justifying how she snatched the first seats at the last season's reunion because that girl has been clocking in and carrying. It's hard to plot a Mia takedown because Mia doesn't seem to allow any of the gang ups to work on her, maybe except that one time when Wendy first claimed Mia and Gordon are essentially swingers, alleging that Pedro is involved. And I love that she's really loyal to none of these girls and does not depend on alliances to survive another day. Her lies are enough to keep things interesting. This season, it's all about the truth in her storyline because the paternity of her and Gordon's 8-year-old son continues to be a hot topic, and I don't think it should be. Now, with the boyfriend incognito claiming he's secretly the father of the boy. Shoo! Comment down below, like and share this video, and subscribe to the channel. The category is Spring and New Beginnings in Season 9 of the Real Housewives of Potomac, and we've just been treated to a lengthy first look into what can be expected. This time, everyone is highlighting solidarity among the ladies, which is a much needed departure from the dark and divided season they've just had. Giselle and Wendy seem to have patched things up and moved past their years-long beef.
So you were on the hater list, and
hating on this?
you have talked about the colors of my home.
I didn't talk about the color in your home.
Well, that's what I remember you did.
Well, you misheard because I never talked about your home. I talked about the way you dress.
It's the first time seeing now Giselle navigating the show without her best friend, Robyn, who did most of her bidding. And while there's no sign of Cherise, Jacqueline and Jesse Rito make an appearance in the snippet, taking over the reins as friends of the cast. The producers are not playing about Season 9 of the Real Housewives of Potomac. They've released a preview of the premiere episode with nearly 9 minutes of footage giving viewers a glimpse into the show's new floral, sunny, spring-themed era. The longest pre-season snippet they dropped was for Season 8, and it was a little over 4 minutes, so you know they want all eyes on this. As they should, since the people threatened to pull their viewing cards and boycott the whole thing during last season's chaotic mess. And now it's all hands on deck for this season, and the budget shows, the promo shows, and the speed at which they filmed and delivered also shows, since they've been a little bit more professional than RHOP counterparts. Will this new season mark a turning point for RHOP after recent cast drama that led to petitions for certain people to be fired, threats of a boycott, and a rating slump? That remains to be seen, but all the material coming out of the edit suite has been pleasing to me. It definitely does look like the new season will be slightly calmer, and if for nothing else, at least the ladies are now filming together as an ensemble cast again. It will be interesting to see how things play out in the absence of Candiace. I'm not sure how I feel about her not being at that table. You could tell someone important and key to the show is not around, but we shall see. The Real Housewives of Potomac Season 9 premieres Sunday, October 6th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Bravo. Are we watching? Comment down below, like and share this video, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching until the end. Until next time, bye.